adjudication of representing 300 plus folks, including you, Mr. Chairman. And just for folks to understand, when these adjudications get started, if you haven't been involved in one, it's like a quiet title action. And everybody gets named who thinks they have a right to use water. So it's almost against your will that you're brought in. And then as different parties file claims, you can object or respond to the claims that they're filing. And what Chairman Mendive is referring to is when the tribe filed its claims through the United States, he was one of the objectors or respondents who then were involved in that set of subcases. So over 10 years ago, the folks that I represent, Hagedon Hospitality, which is a Coeur d'Alene resort and golf course, and several hundred individuals that belong to different groups in Benawah, Shoshone, and Kootenai counties, the North Idaho Water Rights Alliance, the Northwest Property Owners Alliance, and the Coeur d'Alene Lakeshore Property Owners Association, were met with these claims that were filed. And again, this is a comprehensive determination of all the water rights in the basin that anybody thinks they might have. So the United States and the tribe, just like everybody else in the region, were required to come in with their claims. So when the tribe's claims were filed by the United States, because these are federal law claims, they haven't had a piece of paper attached to them, an application or a permit or a license like we see with state law water rights. It was a little bit of a surprise to people. Oh, wow, what are they claiming? And of course, from the tribal perspective, they're just wanting to confirm what they've always had a right to for millennia. But now it's on a piece of paper and everybody gets to see it. And so there were objections and people were very concerned, what's going to happen to my hayfield? What's going to happen to this? What's going to happen to that? And here we are over 10 years later with a ceremony this morning with the governor, the chairman of the tribe, Chief Allen, and Attorney General Labrador ceremonially signing this settlement agreement. This piece of legislation that's in front of you, House Bill 789, would, as this body did for the Shoban Water Rights Agreement, the Shopai Water Rights Agreement, the Nez Perce Water Rights Agreement, will confirm and ratify the agreement and instruct the agencies in the state to move forward with implementing it according to its terms. That's the standard provision in Section 1. Section 2 is a little bit different. In the Shoban Water Rights Settlement, there was a water bank included. So the Shobans got a chunk of water in Palisades Reservoir, and they're able to market that through the State Water Supply Bank. The Water Resource Board in Idaho has the authority, as being over the entire state water bank for the state, to delegate that for storage to storage holders. So with the Shobans, no legislation was required for that component because it was storage. With natural flow, the water board doesn't have that general authority to delegate to the local area for a water bank. So this piece of legislation, Section 2, is necessary to allow the water bank, which operates at a state level under the water board, to be delegated down to the local level so that the water rights of the tribe can be rented, because they're natural flow rights primarily, through a local rental pool. That's why the legislation is necessary. The water board doesn't have that ability to delegate under the existing statutes. So that's all that this does. In a nutshell, what the agreement does, and then I'm going to pass it off to Terrell Stevenson to introduce the chairman of the tribe, and then following the chairman will be Joy Vega, the chief deputy attorney general for the Natural Resources Division, the Attorney General's office, and then I'll reserve the right to come up here and close after testimony. But this does two things. Number one, it recognizes the water rights of the Coeur d'Alene tribe in various categories, from agriculture to domestic to in-stream to hunting, ceremonial purposes on the reservation. These rights are all on the reservation. And then secondly, it protects the existing water uses, the hayfield that I was talking about earlier, from being interfered with by these tribal rights that are recognized, allows all of these rights to be harmonized together. And the word subordination is the word that allows those rights to continue uninterfered with, even in the face of these very senior tribal water rights. Now we're in North Idaho, not Southern Idaho, so the water supply situation is a little different. Curtailment is a little different issue up there, but nonetheless, we are in a prior appropriation state. Priority dates do matter, and subordination matters. It's kind of the magic that allows this agreement to work. There are other provisions in the agreement that the chairman and or Joy may speak to, but for my purposes, I just wanted to let you know that this water bank is a way to allow the tribe to share its water right with others in the area when that makes sense for them. It's very standard in Idaho. What I love about this is Congress will have to approve this agreement, and a tribe, as I understand it, cannot use its tribal water rights outside of what it's decreed for, in other words, rent it or transfer to someone else, without Congress approving that. In this agreement, we're not just saying it's up to Congress. We're saying this is going to be done through state law, through the state water bank, through the local rental pool process. So that's important to see that we've got that consistency with state law in here in addition to what I mentioned earlier. So